Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema-Magazine. A new TV series is coming your way. One is whose title I think you're quite familiar with. It is a new story and a new interpretation with Superman and Lois. And I'm here with Tyler Hoechlin, who is the star. Tyler, can you talk about your first Superman memory, or when the whole essence of this character kind of came into your life?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually am kind of grateful for this now, doing this job and playing this character. It really wasn't something that was a part of my life when I was younger. I remember a couple of visual cues of Lois and Clark. I think I watched maybe an episode or two with my mom when I was a kid. But it just wasn't something that had found me. I played baseball really competitively as a kid, and I started acting when I was really young. Between those two things in school, I just didn't have a lot of, I didn't get into comics or anything like that. So it's all kind of fresh to me, but at the same time, obviously very aware of the legacy, what it's meant to people for so long. I mean, I haven't been around since 1938, so it's been a minute. So it's kind of great. I love that I'm always aware of him in the sense that I think everyone is aware of Superman. But it's nice to have been able to come into playing this character without too many images, too many things from the past that are kind of like clouding the judgment of, playing him now.
One of the interesting aspects of Superman is his dual persona, that he has Clark Kent, which looks like the rest of us, but as Superman, he gets to put on this super sweet looking suit. The first day you tried it on and saw yourself in the mirror, emboldening, empowering?
No, actually, it's not. It's a funny thing because you know what that suit is. You've seen it represented outside yourself so many times that when you put it on, people have the imposter syndrome and things like that. You always feel so. It's very surreal, I think, at most. But yeah, it's the craziest thing is it's not so much when you see yourself in the suit. It's more when you walk onto set for the first time and people are kind of like actually staring and you're aware that, oh, you're now representing this thing. I think that's the moment that really kind of hits you more than seeing it in the mirror.
I have a feeling we're just going to have constant guests coming through here. We're just going to have to deal with this.
It's going to be
awesome. One of the attributes that Superman has is flying. So can you talk about your flying lessons? Because there's got to be a way that you had to condition your body to work through all this stuff, because it looks super cool when you see it on screen.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it's coming across that way. Yeah, there's a few things. It's really not too much training. It's a lot of, like little nitpicking things here and there, like working with the camera and the angles. So, our stunt team and our rigging team here, they're top notch. The great team that we have. So, when we do shots, it's like, hey, try to be a little more flat or actually try to arch a little bit more because of the angle. So they're just little tweaks here, as you go. And, thankfully the pressure of playing this character to be in a certain kind of shape before we ever started, at least gave me a good base to start from. So it's not too taxing.
One of the fascinating components of this reinvention of the legend, which we think we kind of know about, is the familial, especially now he has two teenage sons. Can you talk a little bit about that aspect? And do you remember a great bonding experience you had with your dad?
Yeah, I mean, I love that the focus of the show is family. I think as I've gotten older, I've really come to appreciate the time and effort, energy, sacrifice that goes into being there as a parent. And I'd say it's not so much just like a one kind of moment, but my dad was an emergency room doctor. He still is. And yet, we played baseball games pretty much every weekend, and I really don't remember a weekend that he wasn't there for at least a couple of the games. If he was working a shift, then obviously not, but most of the time he was there. So I just think that time showing up, it's just, it's taught me a lot. Definitely want to, have a family of my own someday. And so I think at least for now, I think I'm not there yet, but I think for now, this show is a great way for me to pay homage to my parents and the effort that they made for me and my three siblings. And it's been, I think this year has really thrown into perspective, a lot of things that we deem to be very important that we could never imagine would be delayed or disappear. And a lot of those things have, but our family relationships, whether it's family you're born into or family that you choose to have, those relationships are constant. And so, there's the one thing that they don't disappear. they don't go anywhere. And if you neglect them, then they can, and then you're kind of left with nothing. So I love that we're focusing on family with this character.
And you cannot have a good protagonist unless you have a good antagonist. And so far, I think it's Captain
Luther, yeah.
Luther. I'm zoning down his name for a second. Talk a little bit about, is he going to be the main protagonist that we're going to see throughout the series? Or are we going to have some of the classic Superman villains interweave?
I can't give too many spoilers away, but I will say that a lot of things in the show right now, there's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of things, appearing one way that maybe will turn out to be something a little bit different. And so, they've layered the show very well. And I think in the next few episodes, some things will start to unravel that'll be very interesting. And, there's always endless possibilities with multiverses and things like that. So there's a lot that they can play with.
And a last question for you. In the very first episode, and I don't know if everybody who watches it's going to see it, but I think there's a phone conversation in your mom's house, and over your shoulder is a to-do board. And there are people's names who are on it. Dr. Donner, a little tip of the hat to Richard Donner, who directed the first Superman movie, the two guys who created the series. How closely do people have to watch this show to pick up on some of those Easter eggs?
It's close, man, close. Because there's some things that are slipping by me. I'm not even I'm on set and I don't even notice them sometimes. I mean, that one, unless someone would have pointed it out to me, I hadn't noticed it. So they definitely like to do that for the fans. I think it's great that we get to throw those things in there. It makes it exciting and just, again, fun little Easter eggs. It's always it's great when we can do them. So I think we'll try to do that as often as we can.
Tyler, thank you so much for your time and our company of strangers that kept coming in and out while we were doing this. I appreciate it. The show is terrific. It is called Superman and Lois. I look forward to many, many seasons of this. And this is Scott. Till next time.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.